Hi everyone, we are starting soon. My apologies. There was just a little bit problem with my network, but I've been able to resolve it now. We are just going to start soon. Right. Welcome to Cat Simplified channel. Today, my grade 10s, we are going to focus mainly on Microsoft Word and then also Excel. Now, I would like you to find out if all of you can hear me before we start. I would like to find out if you can hear me out. Right. If you can hear me, may you please indicate that you can hear me so that I can start. All right. Thank you very much. Right. So basically today we are going to focus on Microsoft Word and then spreadsheet. And that is what, as grade 10 learners, you are expected to know. So I would like us to make use of the data file that we have been using. That's the June papers. So I'm going to share the grade 10 papers again. If you don't have it, then you can have access to it. I'm going to share that link as well. That's a grade 10 CAT questions. And then when we open the grade 10 CAT questions, we can focus on the practicals with a lot of June question papers. So today I would like us to focus on 2017 question paper. Grade 10 practicals, then you will see that. So I'm sharing the link with you with the grade 10 practicals. All right, so that's the link that I've shared. You can get access to all the files and then we will start with it. Right. Now, before we even start solving questions practically, I would like us to also go through what is expected. And then, like I said, today's session is going to be question and answers. So I will try to cater for everybody's question that you are going to also ask. Now, I'm going to start with the 2017 question paper. So I believe you have it. So I'll open it and then try to share with everyone. But then as I'm solving each question, if you have any question, you must indicate it in the comment section. Then I'll read everybody's question and then assist everyone as well. Right. That is one cost. Now, for Microsoft Word, you are expected to know the following topics. That is the font settings. You are also expected to know the paragraph settings, Then you are also expected to know shapes, word art, and the rest. So today we will go through all the topics and then I will break them down so that you understand them properly. Right. So I will open one course from 2017 question paper. Right. And now the question says, change the page orientation of the document to portrait, format the paper size to A4, set the margins as follows. The top and then the bottom margin should be 2 centimeters. The left and then the right margin should be 1.5 centimeters. So now, that is one cost. Now we are going to talk about the margins. How do we change the margins and then the orientations? So my greetings, I will advise you to make use of this easier way to get these questions done. Now, when you have a question that talks about margins, orientation, and then the line spacing, and then the paragraph spacing, as well as the indentation, you can make use of the page setup from the ruler settings. Now, when you go to the ruler settings, just double click anywhere. You just double click anywhere in the ruler. Please don't click in the middle, or don't click at the bottom, just in the middle or at the top. Now, it's going to give you the page setup. Now, from the page setup, you can be able to answer questions regarding margins, the paper orientation, and then the layout. So you must watch out for that. I am going to repeat that. From the ruler settings, if you don't have it, just go to view and then you take ruler. Now, anywhere in the ruler settings, in the middle, just double click. It's going to give you the page setup. So if the question is talking about margins, you change it from there. If the question is talking about paper size, you change it from paper tab. And if the question is talking about the layout, that is the vertical alignment, you change it also from there. At the same place, if the question is talking about borders, you click here from that borders and shading. Right. So now, let's start with the first part that is talking about the margins. Now, according to the question, it says the page orientation should be changed to portrait. Now, when you go to the margins, you will see orientation, then you click on portrait. Right. Now, the second one says format the paper size to A4. So we go to paper tab and then the size, you change it to A4. If you scroll down, you will see A4, A3, and the different sizes. And then again, set the margins as follows. The top and then the bottom margin should be 2 centimeters. The left and then the right margin should be 1.5 centimeters. So you click on margins, the top margin should be 2 centimeters. And then the bottom margin, you use the arrow to change it to 2 centimeters. And then again, the question says the left and right should be 1.5 centimeters. Again, you change it to 1.5. Both the left and then the right margins to be 1.5 centimeters. Sometimes they can also ask you to change the gutter and then the gutter position as well. Right. Now, so you can see that about 3 questions, we have just used one step to do that 3 questions. And then you click OK. So I'm advising you whenever you get questions about margins and others, just go to the ruler settings, double click anywhere inside the ruler, and then it's going to open the page setup for you. Alternatively, if you don't know or you are not able to do that, there is a search button here or tool here, and then you type page setup. And then it will open that page setup for you. Or If the question is talking about margins, you type margins, and then you see custom margin, then you'll be able to change it as well. Right, so take note of that. Now let me check if there's any question. Right, someone is asking, splitting the screen. No, it doesn't. It doesn't compromise. Right. Now let's proceed. Yeah, don't forget to put your questions here. If you have any question, you can put it there, and then I'll be able to assist you. Right, the next question. Format the heading reasons for live or for high data cost with a title style and center horizontally. Now there is a heading that they want us to change it to the style. Now, whenever you have a heading that you want to apply a particular style, you select that heading, and then from the home tab, you will see different styles. We have heading 1, heading 2, heading 3 style, title style, subtitle, and different style. So for grade 10, you are only supposed to apply a style. You are not supposed to create a new style. That is for grade 11. So here, they can ask you to apply a particular style, existing style on a particular heading. So here we select the title style, and then we apply it on the reasons for high data cost. Then insert a drop cap in the first paragraph as follows. Then it should be dropped, and then it should be 0.3 centimeters. Now you can see this drop here has been dropped over certain lines. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it has been dropped over 4 lines. And then the distance should be 0.3 centimeters from the text. So let's look at it. This is the one, most South African. Right, so we click before the word most, and then we go to drop cap. You can get drop cap from insert, and then you see drop cap. Alternatively, you can use the search and say drop cap. Then it's going to give you add a drop cap. Then you select drop cap options. Now, we have 2 types of drop cap options. We have the drop, and then we have in margins. So now the question will tell you which one should you use. Now, from this screenshot, they use the drop. How do you differentiate between drop and in margins? You can see that the other text that are not dropped will always cover it or to be below it. Now, if you use in margins, they will be on the same position. So here we choose drop, and then how many lines from the question? It was 4 lines, and then 0.3 centimeters. Then you click OK. So this is how it's supposed to be, over 4 lines, and then it should be 0.3 centimeters. Right, so basically that is how we insert the drop cap. Now the next question, they said we must insert a picture, one font.jpg, and then they said crop the picture so that the outside part are not showing. Yes, we will crop it, and change the size of the picture to exactly 6 centimeters and 8 centimeters wide. Then place the picture on the right of the text as seen in the example. So we are going to insert a picture, which is one phone on the right hand side. So how do we insert a picture? You just click on the position where you must place the picture, let's say here, and then we go to insert picture. Then you select from this device, And then we are going to select the picture. That's June 2020, 2017. So I will select grade 10 practical. One phone. Now, after that, they say we have to crop this picture so that it doesn't cover this side. Now, how do we crop it? The moment you insert a picture, when you click on the picture, you will see picture format. And then from the picture format, they can ask you to change the picture border. They can ask you to change the effect and then the picture layout. So you have to watch out for that type of questions as well. Now, crop, you'll find crop here, and then you click on crop. Now, we don't want this side, so we have to remove it. You'll see a crop crop handles from different angle, then you just drag it to just remove them. Let's check the question. Yes, it should be up to this part. Right, then after that, you can click outside the picture, it will be cropped. Now, according to the question, we click on the picture again, picture format, and then we change the size. So you click on the size, then we have to specify the size. Now, the height and then the width of the picture. We need to take log aspect ratio. We have to remove it. If you want to get an exact size, you have to remove log aspect ratio. Then we can now change our height and then our width. Now from the question, the height should be 6 centimeters and then the width should be 8 centimeters. So we change the height, we delete and put 6, and then we delete the width, and then we put 8. So that we can get the exact height and then the width. Sometimes the question can also ask you to put the scale instead of the height and then the width in centimeters. They can give you in a scale format. So you must watch out for that. Then you click OK. So this is the actual size that the question wants us to place them so that we can get 6 and then 8 centimeters. Right. Now we need to place this one on the right hand side. To place it, when you click on the picture, it's going to give you the layout option, this one. So when you click on it, you must choose the tight or the square so that you can move it. So when I select the square, I can now move my image to the right position. So according to the question, it should start from the internet. So I can move it up to the internet. Right, so that we get the exact position. Now, according to the question again, that is the cropping, and then the centimeters, and then where we must place it. Please, when you get this type of question, even though the screenshot, you will see a border around it. Please, the question, if the question does not specify here in the note or it doesn't specify in any question here, you don't have to worry yourself to place a border around it. So take note of that. Now, let's say they ask you to place a border around it. How do we place a border around this? Now you must insert a text box. Now to put a text box, we go to insert and then you see shapes. Then you select the text box. You get it from the basic shapes. Then you draw the text box around all these. Now, the moment you draw the text box, you realize that you don't see the image and then the text as well. Now, for you to see them, when you select the text box, You will see layout options, and then you choose behind text. Behind text. So that the text box will now be at the back of the text, and then you will see them properly. Now, with this text box, you can change also the shape outline. When you click on shape format, you will see shape outline, and then you choose the weight of the text box, let's say to 3pt. Then if the question is asking for the thickness of the text box around it, you choose 3pt. Again, when you click on the text box, you can also change the color of the weight. Right, so basically, this is how we put a border around group of paragraphs together with an image. Right, if you have any question, you may ask. I will check again. Yes, somebody's asking, do you have to press Ctrl and S every word you type in case of electricity? Yes, it's advisable to save it, either Ctrl S, or you just click on it. Just click on the save button. You get save button, you just click on save in case the electricity goes off. But then I think every school will also make a backup, but then that's very good. It's advisable to do that. Now, someone is asking the text box again. Right, let me do that again. Now, you see, we want to place a border around this. If you want to select and then you put the border, it will not work. When you select and then you say borders and shading, because there are so many paragraphs, and then you go to borders and then you select your border with a thickness of 3pt, and then click OK. So you see it doesn't work. Even if it works, it's going to give you wrong answer. That's the border, 3pt. If you apply it and then click OK, you will see that you will not get it as the question demands because there are so many paragraphs around. So the best way is to place a text box. So we go to insert, shapes, and then you find text box. So you draw the text box around the group of text or paragraphs. Now you realize that you won't find the text. So you click on the layout option. Please, whether it's a text box or any shape or image, when you want to arrange them properly, make use of the layout options. So now this one, I need to select behind text so that now the shape or the text box will be behind the text, and then you will see the text properly. By default, it was showing in front of text. So we have to select behind text. And then how do we put a border around? When you select it, you will see shape format. And then some of you, Office 2016, you might see format. You click on it. And then you go to shape outline. Then you select the weight. And then select the color as well. Right. So basically, that is how we place a text box around a text, different text. Right. Now let's move to the next question. It says, replace all occurrences of wireless internet with the word Wi-Fi. Now, whenever you see a question of this nature, replace, that means they use find and replace. Sometimes you can even get a question by saying, use Microsoft Word feature to change or find all the occurrences of the word wireless internet and then replace it with the word Wi-Fi. Right. Now, how do we change it? We have to use find and replace. We have to make use of find and replace. Now, to do find and replace, we can use the search tool and say replace. And then you click on it, it will take you there. Or you can use the shortcut Control H, Control plus H. It takes you to replace. Or from the home tab, under editing, you see replace. Now, when you go to replace, we have find what and then replace with. So what are we finding? We are finding wireless internet. And then we replace with Wi-Fi. Right. So that's what the question is saying. We are finding the word wireless internet and then we replace with Wi-Fi. Now, sometimes the question can tell you again, whatever that you are replacing, you must change the color. So let's say if they are asking for color, you go there, then you go to more. And then you will see format. Then they can ask you to change the font or paragraph or change the highlight color. So here, if they ask you to change the font, you go to font. And then they can ask you to change to a particular font. In this case, let me use a font like Algerian. And I want to bold it and change the size to maybe 18. And then change the font color to red. Then they can even ask you to also highlight. Let's say they want you to highlight by green color. Remember, the default color is yellow. So if they're asking for green color, you go and select green color, and then you go there and choose highlight from the format. Now you will see under the replace with font Algerian, 18 pt, bold, font color, and then red, and then highlight. Now, if let's say you make a mistake and then you see them here, that means you, instead of you to select replace with, you went and selected or click inside find what, then you might just click on no formatting to start all over. So take note. Now, when you are done with this, you say replace all. Now I got 5 replacements. So all the wireless internet has been changed to Wi-Fi with the green shaded and then the color to be red. So that is how we do find and replace. They can ask you some of these type of questions, so you must watch out for such type of questions. Find and replace. Sometimes they can even ask you to use the same word and then you replace. Now, let me show you another example. Let's say we are finding the word ADSL, and then we want to replace with the same, let me go to no formatting. We want to replace with the same word ADSL, but it should be formatted in a certain way. It should be formatted with a red font color. And then also underline, double underline. And then I go to replace all. So the word ADSL was not underlined, but then now it has changed to underline and then having a red font color. Right. So basically that's how we use find and replace. So for grade 10, this basic find and replace, you must watch out for that type of questions. For June examination, you must know how to find something and then you replace with another text, or maybe you replace with something. Now, we can also get a question whereby they say, find all the occurrences of the M dash. Now, I will show the word called N dash, and then we have M dash. Now, the N dash is the short one, the small dash, and then the M dash is the long one. Now, they can ask you to find all the occurrences of the N dash and then replace with the M dash. Now, let's check. So we go to find and replace. Let me clear formatting and start all over. So we are going to find the word or the character called n dash. So where it says find what, you go to special. When you go to more, you select special, and then you select n dash. Then replace with special m dash. Replace all. So here is 0 because there was no n dash there, and then whereby we can replace with m dash. So that is also type of find and replace. There is special find and replace. You must watch out for that. For grade 10, n and m dash, and then also manual line break with a non-breaking hyphen and non-breaking space. They can ask you that type of questions. So watch out for that for grade 10. Right. That is all about find and replace. Now let's move on to the next question. It says change all headings or subheadings which are formatted with subtitle style to a heading 2 style. Now there was a style which is subtitle, then we need to change it to heading 2 style. Now how do we change that? You go to the styles, and then we look for the subtitle style, this one. So what you need to do is you right click and say select all. Now when you choose select all, it's going to select all the ones that were highlighted with the or formatted with subtitle. Let's go and check again. We got 4 instances. It will select them. Then you go, and after it has selected them, you go to heading 2. So now it has changed from subtitle to heading 2. I'm going to repeat. Go to the styles. Now we are changing subtitle to heading 2. Then you see subtitle, right click and choose select all. It's going to select all the subtitles for you. And then you go back to the styles, then you click on heading 2. So we are going to change from subtitle into heading 2. That's how we solve that question. Now the next question, locate the paragraph fiber to the home, headings included, and format the paragraph to 13 pt after, and then line spacing of 1.2. Now, so you must watch out for this type of questions also, paragraph spacing and then line spacing. They can ask questions on that, paragraph spacing and line spacing. Now, how do we change that? For paragraph spacing, you can also go to the search and type paragraph. Then it's going to give you paragraph settings. Or we can use from home tab, there is paragraph group with an arrow, which is paragraph settings. Click there. Now we can change the paragraph settings here. Right, and in examination, if you don't know where to find it, you are allowed to search also by picking the keyword. So here, the paragraph spacing, according to the question, 13 pt after. So you see paragraph spacing, we find it here. So after we change it to 13 pt, you just type 13. And then the line spacing, they can ask you for before as well, so watch out for that. Then the line spacing should be 1.2. So 1.2 meaning multiple of 1.2. You choose multiple and then you type 1.2. Right. Then you click OK. So here mine is comma, so it can be that your computer you use point, so just say 1.2. Right. Remember to find that paragraph. We did not check the paragraph first. According to the question, the paragraph should be fiber to home. So you have to look for that paragraph. Here is it. So you select or you click inside that paragraph. and then paragraph settings. After should be 13 pt, and then multiple of 1.2, and then okay. So that's how we were supposed to do. You must select the paragraph and then you choose that option, paragraph settings. Right. The next question, before I proceed, let me check if there's any question there. Yeah, someone say, how do we swap? Okay, let's check again. Right. Yeah, Excel, we will talk about Excel also today. Can you just text box for a block? Yes, you can do that. And then also, how do we swap paragraph? Yes, I'm going to show you how to change paragraphs. Yes, I'm going to check how to change two paragraphs. We will talk about that. And then how do you group pictures? We will also do that. I will make sure that I address everybody's question. Somebody also say I must slow down. I will do that. I will go slowly. And then also remember, after the lesson, this video will be available for you that you can watch over and practice as well. Right. Now, let me start with the swapping of the paragraph. Now, you see, I have these two paragraphs. Let's say these two paragraphs, although and then somehow. I think there's a question like that that asks us to swap. Yeah, that's 1.12. We will come there. 1.12, there's a question like that. So we will get there. So 1.10 says, the second paragraph below the heading public broadband and Wi-Fi have a number of formatting and spacing errors. Find and correct them. When you have this type of question, check the mark allocation. Here there's 3 marks. That means there's 3 corrections that we need to do. So we have to check that. According to the question, it should be public broadband and Wi-Fi. So let's look out for that. Here is it. Now, in order to do that, there are 3 of them, so you have to check. There's one here, municipalities. So you right click and then to give you the options, then you select the right option to fix it with a space. Again, I think this one I've seen only one. Now let's check the spaces also, the spacing errors. In order to identify the spacing errors, just activate, we call it the show or hide, or sometimes we call it the paragraph mark. When you click on it, it's going to show you all the spaces there. Now, when you see 2 dots, if you see 2 dots, that means there's 2 spaces. That was an error. So here we could not see any 2 space. So there was no error. The spaces are these ones. These are the spaces. So let's say here they press 2 space. You can see 2 spaces. There will be an error for you to change. So it's easier for you to fix that. Now you can see this. So basically you check and then you fix them. Now here we see center. There's a mistake. That is why it's red underline. You right click. And then here is English or British English. It is correct. Now it gives you American English saying that it's wrong. So you must ignore it. If you don't want to change it, you just say ignore. Right. So basically that's how we do the proofreading. Now, justify the paragraph. Sometimes learners get confused of this. Justify. Justify is an alignment. Justify the paragraph starting with the words a lesser, so we have to go and justify that paragraph. Here is it. How do we justify this? You click on it or click inside the paragraph, and then from the paragraph settings, you will see left align, and then you also see center, right, and then justify. So you click on justify. Now, or if you don't know how to do it, just go to search and say justify. It's going to give you the justify, and then you justify it. Please take note. Now, the next question is to swap paragraphs. Swapping or swap paragraph means change their position. Now, there's different ways of doing that. You can use cut and paste by selecting this one, and then you cut, you right click and choose cut. Then you come to the top here and get a space. Then you right click and choose paste. Right. Alternatively, you can get that by using what we call sorting. You can also sort, and then you get a right way of swapping. Now I'm going to sort for you right now. Just a minute. I need to charge. Right. Now we are going to make sure that we change their position by using the sorting options. How do I sort? You select the two paragraphs, and then from the paragraph tab or from the paragraph settings, you see A to Z. That is the sorting. Now, when you click on A to Z, it says sort by paragraphs. There are other options of sorting. You can sort by headings. If they were having different headings, you say sort by headings. But now they don't have headings, so we choose paragraphs. And here we say ascending or descending. Now you can see they were already ascending from A and then S. So we choose descending. And then you click OK. So they will change their position. Now, sometimes you can sort by ascending, like if it was like this, and I want to sort, they say ascending, then they will come back. So that's how we sort by paragraphs. Right, and then you swap their position. That's all about that question 1.12. You can use the sorting, and then you can do that. Now, we move straight to the next question. Two data must fall. But before I do that, there were other people who asked some questions about how do we group shapes and then others. So I'm going to show you how to group images and other way of manipulating images. So let's say I have a shape, which is this oval shape. And then I also insert a picture. Right. Then I also insert word art. So I'm going to insert word art again. Let me move my word art. Remember word art and others, if you want to move them, don't forget to place them as title or text wrapping so that you can easily move it. Right. Now I can type in here. Cat grade 10. Right. Now, word art, don't forget when you are talking about word art, also you can equally change the shape outline. Word art comes like a text box, so you can change the weight, and then you can also change the shape color. You can fill in with a gradient fill or a texture. They can give you a particular texture, right? And then the word art again, from the word art styles, when you click on the word art styles, you will see transform. The first style, which is the text effect, you see transform, and there are different transformations there that you can select. And then don't forget, you can rotate the word art from the shape format. We can rotate them also, flip vertical or flip horizontal. Right. Now, I have this word art, and then this text I can type inside also by right clicking and choose add text. Then you can type inside. And then you can change the shape fill to any color of your choice, or you can also use any texture to fill in a shape. Don't forget, you can change the colors as well. So I just want you to know different ways. Now, these are the shapes, and then I have image. Now, this image, I can also click on picture format and crop to a certain shape. Let's say I want to crop to a heart shape. So you select crop to shape. Now, when I select crop to shape, it gives me the heart shape. Right. So I have this, which is the word art, and then I have also a text. Sorry, check for me. I went offline. Can you guys check for me whether I'm back online? Yeah, can everybody see me or see my screen? All right, thank you very much. Right. Thank you very much. Now let me proceed again. Right. So I have these three shapes. I can now move these shapes and make them as one object. How do I do that? In order for you to make it as one object, first of all, you must make sure that they all have either tight. So like the word art, I'm using tight. This shape must also have the layout tight. And then the image must also have the layout tight. So when you have all of them with the same layout, then I can put them together. And now in order for you to put them together, you select the first one, hold down the control key. Control key is CTRL. You will find it on your keyboard. Then you go and click on the next shape, and then you click on the other shapes until all of them are selected. After that, you remove your finger from the control key and right click on any of the shape. You see group, and then you choose group. So now they become one object. Now that they have become one object, we can also choose the picture format and crop it to a shape, any shape of our choice, so that all of them will have the same shape. Because they are now one object, now they will become this, or they will have the same shape as well. Right, so that's how we group objects to become one. Now you can now change the size. Right, so this is how we deal with images and then other shapes, and then you can also group it to become one. Remember, when you are grouping, you hold down the control key and then you click on each of them. You click on each of them to select when you hold down the control key. So that's all about images. Now, I want to also show you something about the tab stop. Now, this ADS, there are different indentations. As you can see, the ADSL, the indentations. When you click on this paragraph, we have different indentations. We have 1, first line indent, 2, left indent, 3, hanging indent, and then 4, right indent. So you can get a screenshot and then they want you to change the indentation so that it displays as you find in the screenshot. So for example, this one, when you go to the ruler settings, there is left indent, which looks like a rectangle that at the bottom. The one on top of the rectangle one, which is the hanging indent, and the one on top is the first line. So I don't know whether you can see that one on your Microsoft Word. First line. So now the one that's rectangle, that's the left indent. If I click and drag it to 3 centimeters, so it means that your paragraph will be pushed into 3 centimeters. Then the one on the right hand side, this is the right indent. Still, you must click inside the paragraph, right indent. Let's say I want the right indent into 14 centimeters. So you can get a question that says use the ruler setting or change the indent to left indent of 3 centimeters and then the right indent of 14 centimeters. So this is what we are going to get, our final result. Now, after this, they can also ask you to place a border on top and at the bottom. Now, how do we place a border top and then the bottom of the paragraph? Like I said, we can use borders and shading. And then you will see borders. Then you can select the border type, the color, and then the thickness of the border. Then you decide, the question will tell you whether it should be the left and then the side borders or the top and bottom border. So if they want only the side, you remove the top and bottom and click OK. They can also ask you to shade. So you go to borders and shading. And shading you fill in with a color that is required by the question. So this type of question, you can have it and then to be about 4 or 5 marks, whereby you need to apply the borders, you need to fill in, and then you need to also put indent. Right, so this one is the left indent. Now let's also look at other type of indentation. First line indent. Like I said, the first line indent is the one on top. You click and then you drag it. That's the first line indent of 2 centimeters. So you can see this is the first line and it pushed the first line up to 2 centimeters. Then we have other indentation, which is hanging indent. Hanging indent is at the bottom, just on top of the left indent. You see hanging indent. Then we take it to 2 centimeters. So this one is hanging indent. This is first line. And this one is left indent. So basically, you must know the different types of indentation and also the paragraph settings. If you use the ruler setting, it becomes easier. Right. Now, let me check any question. All right, sorry, somebody said the link there is grade 12, but I put a new link. Let me put them again. Sorry, I said that link. I think at the beginning, I gave you the link. Otherwise, let me put them again. Right, I'll put the link again. Right, you'll find the link to the questions also. And then the link to this video, you'll get them as well. Right. But the one that is, let me check that video and change it also. Right, I changed the link again, so you can get access to the link right now. Right, thank you for your patience. Now, let's move to question 2. Maybe we'll meet other questions that you have been asking. Now, question 2, data must fall. We must use 2 data must fall, and then we change the following. Right. Remember, Microsoft Word is a lot. For grade 10, only few questions will be from spreadsheet, which we are going to discuss as well. Spreadsheet is basically few functions, and then the formatting, we will do them as well. All right, now the first question says, remove the page color of the document. Like I've been saying, take the keyword page color. Page color. So it will take you straight to page color, and then you choose no color. Alternatively, you can get page color from design, and then you see page color, just like watermark, and then the page borders. So you can get them from design as well. Second one, change the font of the entire document to Arial. Right, now this is the font, the whole document. So we have to select the document. Now there are so many pages. So you have to select them. And then we go to home. Then the font group. You go and type Arial. Then you press enter. Right, so the font will now change to Arial. But now, the question, you can also do this by using the shortcut Ctrl+A. It will select everything for you. Then you choose your Arial font. The next question says, the headings must be 16 pt, and then the rest must be 14. So now all the headings should be 16 pt. So your headings must be 16, like this. It should be 16. All the headings must be 16. So you change it to 16, and then the rest should be 12. So first of all, because the other texts are more, you can, when you select, change the text to 12 first, and then you now change the headings to 16 one by one. Because the headings are not many, you change them to 16. Right, that's how you must do the question. And then the next question says, format the heading, two data must fall to look like that. How did they do it? They put the borders on top and below, and then they shaded with red. Now let's look at it. This is two data must fall. You select, and then we need to put them with a border. So like I said, you can go to borders and shading. From design, you see page border, and then you choose borders. Now, the border should be a line, and then we can choose a thickness, let's say 2.5 or 3, because the question didn't specify. And it should be only the top and bottom border. Right, yeah, the question said 1.5 pt, so we have to change the border to 1.5 pt. And it should be blue color. The color should be blue. This is blue color. And then only the top and bottom and shading must be red. So we choose top and bottom, and then we go to shading. Then the shading color should be red, and then okay. But now you can see that they were centered. So we go and center it. From the home tab, you see paragraphs, and then you center. So they placed the border around it, only the top and bottom, and then they centered it as well. Right, 2.4, find the paragraph. We have seen that prices in South Africa, shaded in blue, and add automatic hyphenation to this paragraph only. How do we add hyphen? So we have to look for that paragraph. Yeah, here is it. So you select the paragraph. Automatic hyphenation. Now, you can get it from either the layout, or you can also get it by searching it by saying hyphen. And then you see 10 automatic hyphenation. But then we need to get other options. So we go there. Then it is automatic hyphenate the document, or hyphenate words in caps. So we don't need this one. Now, we also have limit consecutive, and then we also have the hyphen at. So you can also select that one. Now here we have selected the paragraph, then we choose automatic hyphenation for that paragraph only, not the entire document. So like I said, you can also get from layout, and then you get hyphenation, then you see automatic. If there are other questions that they want more options, you choose automatic, they will tell you how many consecutive limit that you must hyphenate. So here we just need to put the automatic, and then to only be for that paragraph. If the question wants the entire document, you don't need to select them. But if they want only a particular paragraph, select that paragraph only. Right. The next question, find the heading free market. Ensure that the heading will always appear on top of a new page. This heading must appear on top of a new page here. That's the page break before. Now we can insert a page break by going to insert, and then you see page break. Then it will move to the next page. Or alternatively, we can also use the paragraph settings from home, and then you see line and page break. Then you take page break before. It will also create a page break. So you can insert a page break, or you use page break before feature from the paragraph settings. Next question says, the yellow highlighted text must appear in 2 columns. Please, learners, be careful about this. When I say 2 columns, it is not a table. Columns are different from table, with a line between, and then the first column must be 7 centimeters wide, and then the second column must be 10 centimeters. Ensure that the text there are too many must appear on top of column 2. Now, they said this must be on 2 columns, yellow highlighted. So we must select the paragraphs from here up until where it's ending. And where do we find columns? We can get it from layout, or we can go to search and say columns. Or we just go to layout, and then you see columns. Then you choose more columns. Now, for more columns, according to the question, they must appear in 2 columns. So the number of columns, we select 2. And there should be a line between. You take line between. Then you must remove equal width, because we need to change the width. The question says the first column must be 7 centimeters. So first column, we change it to 7 centimeters. And the second column must be 10. So second column, we change it to 10. So there shouldn't be equal width. They can also ask you to change the space. So here we are done, then we click on OK. Now, there's a line in between. According to the question again, there are many. That text must appear on top of column 2. So where can we find it? Here is it. There are many variables to compare prices across countries. Now we need to play this one so that it will be on top of column 2. In order to do that, we have to insert what we call column break. So when we go to layout, we see breaks, and then we choose column. So it will move it to the top of the second column. Let me repeat this. We want to push this one to be on top of the second column. So we click before it, layout, breaks, and then we choose column. Then it will be on top of column 2. Right. The next question. Locate the list as we see there. And then we should change the list to the example that you see. Now the list has been changed to 1, 2, 3 with a bracket. Now that is the list. It starts with the government. Here is the list. It was ABC, so we are changing to numbers. You select them. And then from the paragraph group, you see 1, 2, 3. We go there. And then we choose the one that looks like that, 1, 2, 3. If you don't find the right one, you go to define new number format. Then you can change it. Let's say they wanted the bracket to be before and after. Then you change it before and then after. Right. So that's how we change different bullets and numbering. They can also ask you to change it with bullet with an image. So you go there and choose define new bullet. Then we go to symbol or picture. They can ask you to use a symbol or use an image. Let's say we must use 2 bullets, and then click on insert so that to change to an image. Right. The next question, it says locate this, add the bullet to the list. So here is the same thing that I talked about it. How to add a bullet. They wanted us to use a bullet for this list. So you select bullet and numbering, and then you go to define new bullet. Then you choose a picture, and then you select from file. Please, grade 10, always go and look for the file where you can find that image. You can check from there and then the same file, and then you select that image. Right, that's how we insert an image, or we insert a bullet by using image or a symbol. Now, we move on to the next question. There is a form given to you, and then there are lines there. So this is what we call a tab stop. So we are going to look at that. Now, format the text on the last page under the heading questionnaire so that it appears as follows. Note, the 3 lines are at each 10 centimeters long. So we have the questionnaires here. And we have to select the said name, the name and service provider. Now they said the lines must be up to 10 centimeters. So when you select them, you go to 10 centimeters, below 8. Don't click in the middle, just below 10 centimeters, double click. It's going to set what we call a tab stop position at 10 centimeters. And there should be a line, a straight line. So we choose leader 4, and then we click on set, and then OK. So when I click here, then I press the tab, it takes to the 10 centimeters. The tab key, you get it from your keyboard. It's written tab, or there are 2 arrows pointing opposite direction. When you click on it, it takes you 10 centimeters. So as you can see, the lines are at 10 centimeters. Right, we could have done this same tab stop. I want to show you like this one here. If, let's say, we want to place a tab stop at a certain position, let's say the first one should be 6 centimeters. You double click, and we want it to be center with a line. Then you click on set. The second one, we want it to be at 11 centimeters, but this time it should be a bar within it, and then you set. So the line is there. The 11 centimeters is a bar one. And then the 6 centimeters is only to the center. Right, now how do I move them to that position? So if I click here and then I press the tab, it takes me to 6 centimeters. Now if I want per gigabyte to be that side, I shift it to the end of the border. So that they will arrange properly for you at the position. So that's how we set a tab stop, different tab positions, whether the bar or to the left or to the center. Right. The next question, add a horizontal text watermark or data to the document. Now, how do we add watermark? We go to design, you see watermark, and then you choose custom watermark. Like I've been telling you, if you don't know where to find it, just go to search and type watermark. And then you go to watermark, and then you choose custom watermark. So here we choose text watermark. Don't forget, you can also have picture watermark or text watermark. So if they want picture watermark, you will select the image as watermark. Right. Now, if they say text watermark, you select, then you type the text here where you say text, and you delete ASAP, and then you type the right word, which is data. According to the question, it says should be horizontal. They can ask you to change the font. They can also ask you to change the font size. Let's say to 200, and then the color also. So this is the watermark, which is data with 200 font, and it's horizontal. So this is how we add watermark to our document. Watch out for that. Watermark questions are always there as well. Right. We move to page numbers. Add automatic page numbers at the bottom right of the page in the format page 6. Now, how do we insert page numbers? To insert page numbers, just double click at the bottom of the page. It's going to open the footer section for you. And then you will see insert, or maybe the footer section. And then you will see page numbers, bottom of the page. Then you look for that format. There are so many different formats. We have square, we have scroll, rectangular one. So they can ask you some of these nice page number format. So here we are looking for page 1. The one that says page 1. Here is it. Now the question says right of the page. So this is the right. Now let's say you inserted and it's on the right. It's maybe in the middle, or the question says to the middle. When you select, just go to the home and then you choose center so that it will be in the middle. But this question says should be on the right. You change the alignment. Right. We can also insert date and time and other things at the footer section. Let's say we want to insert date at the bottom of the page or the top of the page. When you double click on top, it gives you header and footer. Now here, we find date and time. Then you can put date and time there. If date and time, you only want the time, you select the time format. We can also insert the name of the file, which is the document info. File name. They can also ask you to insert how many words are there. You go to field and then you select for number of words. Which says num words, and then you click OK. So this is the number of words. So they can ask you to insert some of these things. When you double click on the bottom or the top, you will see header and footer. Then you can insert even an image as the footer. So you have to watch out for some of these questions. Right. So that's all about question 2. Now, we are going to talk about table, which is question 3, and then other things also about table. Then from there, we move to spreadsheet. Right, now let me check any question also. If you have any question, you can ask, and then I'll address everybody's question as well. Wave 2 transform. Yeah, we'll look at it. Right. Now we move straight to the third question. Then from there, we go to spreadsheet. Now the table, what do you have to do regarding table? This table question, in most cases, you'll find table questions as well, which 3 comparison. Then they'll ask you to do so many things about table. There was this table, and then according to the question, it says 1, remove the second column from the right. That's the monthly prices. We have to remove this column. So when you click inside a table, you will see table design and then table layout. Or in some Microsoft Word versions, you are going to find design and layout. So here we stick to layout, and then you see delete, then you see delete column. The question says we have to remove that column. Then the next one, insert an extra column to the left of the table and format it as follows. That means we have to insert a column here to the left of the operator column. So we click inside the operator column. Under the table layout, we will see insert column left. So that we will insert a column to the left. And then they merge them, or in other words, they put them together. So you see merge cells so that they will be put together. Right. Then you can see the type high-end mobile device or data price. Let's check again from the question. Merge the cells, move the text, high-end mobile data packages. So this is the text. When they say move, move means cut and paste. So you select, you right-click and choose cut. Then you go in here, you right-click and choose paste. Now, change it to small caps. That means the text must be changed to small caps. Where do you find small caps? It's under the font group. Then you click on the font settings. You will see small caps. And then you click OK. Again, change the text direction. Now, we need to change the text direction. In order to change the text direction, when you click here, we see table layout, text direction. So when you click on it, it changes the text direction for you. Then you see the alignment again, the text direction. If you say align center, so that it will be in the middle. Then after changing the text direction, we have to also center them. They were there, and then they were shaded as well, shaded in a light blue. So we have to shade in a light blue color. So you get a shading under the table design, and you see shading. Then we choose light blue color. Just like the top one, also we shade. Right. Then the question says, failing, we have done that with the light color of your choice, so we did that. Now, change the height of the first row to exactly 1.5 centimeters. Now, this is the height of the first row. We have to change this one to 1.5 centimeters. Now, when you click inside the first row, you'll see table layout, and then we change the height. This is the height. Now we change the height to 1.5 centimeters. And then the words must be centered both vertically and horizontally. When they say vertically, horizontally, that means under the alignment, you click on the one in the middle, align center. And then ensure that this row will appear on top of the table if the table goes to the next page. So when you click there, the first row, and then you see repeat header rows. under the table layout. Repeat header row. So that when it goes to the next page, it will be repeated. Right. Then the next question, remove the left and then the right hand borders of the table as shown in the examples. So here, there's no left and then the right border. So how do we put the border? We have to put the border to the top and then the bottom, no left and right. So when you select the table, and then you see table design, then you must select the line. So let's check the question again. The line is double line. We choose double line. And then it's blue color. Then you go to borders and then you choose the one that is the top, which is the bottom one. And then you go again and choose the one that's the top one. So we have the bottom and also the top. Now we don't need the other side. So here we have the top and then the bottom. Or if you don't know how to do, you can also go to borders and shading over there, and then you put only the top and then the bottom. There are no left and right for the table. You can do that as well. And the inner border, how do we select the inner border? According to the question, the inner border should be dotted ones with red. So we choose the dotted ones, and then the color should be red. Then the border, we choose the inside border. Then the next question says we must calculate the average. We have to calculate the average. Add a formula in the bottom to calculate the average per gigabyte, and then make sure that it is 2 centimeters. Now, we have to calculate average price here. How do we do that? When we go to the table layout, we will see formula, and then instead of sum left, we change the sum to average. Don't delete the equal sign. And then instead of the left, we say above. We are finding the average above the table. Then number format, we choose 2 decimal place. And okay. So to calculate the average of whatever that is above there, and it will change it to 2 decimal place. Now, ensure that the table fits on the entire page. How do we ensure that they fit? When you select it, then you will find what we call auto fit from the cell size, and then you see auto fit to window, so that it will fit the entire page. Then the last one, save the document as PDF and name it as 3 data prices. So we are going to save this as PDF. You go to File, Save As, and then you select Browse, so that you can choose the Save As type. You choose PDF. And then you click, you change the name. According to the question, the name should be 3 data prices. Three data prices. And then you click Save. Right. So that is what we should have as PDF. Now, that's all about Microsoft Whether you must know. Now, if there's no question, let me check if there's any question, then I can address everybody's question. Somebody says, how do we take screenshot again? I'll show you how to take a screenshot. Someone is also asking, transform to wave. Yeah, there's a transform. When you are transforming, you only deal with if there's a, let's say this one is word art. So insert word art. Now, if you are going to transform from the shape format, you will see word art style with a text effect or text effect. Then you see transform. Then there's wave transform. This is wave down. There are so many transform. There's inflate. So this wave down and this wave up. And we also have double wave down up and double wave up down. So you choose the one that the question is requiring you to select. Right. Again, all right. I think that is all. There's no other question, so I'll move straight to spreadsheet. Screenshot. Somebody was asking about screenshot. To screenshot something, you can use snipping tool. You go and see snipping tool. And then you can click on new. Then you can now take a screenshot. Then it will ask you to save it. Then you go to save, file, save as. You can save the screenshot. Right. Again, we can also take a screenshot by pressing on your keyboard print screen, which is PRTSC. Print screen, it will ask you to take a screenshot and then you save it. Right. So take note of that. Now we move straight to spreadsheet. We are going to check spreadsheet. That is question number 4. Now, basically, spreadsheet, you must only focus on the formatting and then also some few calculations like sum, count, average, count A, and the min and max. That's what you need to do. So I'm going to focus on that. Now I'm going to open 4 data sets. Right. So 4 data sets. The first question says, merge cells A1 to H1. So we have, remember, you must always focus on the set. Now the question says we must work in the prices worksheet. So we have to go to prices, not market worksheet. So prices worksheet, and then we must merge from A1 to H1. You select A1 to H1. Then how do we merge? When you select, just right click and then go to format cells. Then merge is part of alignment. Then you see merge cells and you click OK. Alternatively, you can also do that by just going to merge and center from the search and then choose merge and center after you have selected it. Right. Now, the next question says, fill the cells with a 25% gray pattern. Now, you have merged this one. How do we fill in? I want to show you the easier way or the easier method. Even though you can search, just right click and then you go to format cells. Then you will see number, alignment, font, border, fill, and protection. Please, this is the type of question they are going to ask you. So now the question is talking about fill. You click on fill, and then pattern style. You go there. Each fill has a name. So this is 75% gray, and we have 25% gray as well. This is 25%. You select. They can ask you to also select the color, and then you click OK. So watch out for the way we fill in. Now, the next question. The next question says, change the row height of row 1 to exactly 20. Now, this is the row 1. How do we change the height? You right-click on row 1, and then you see row height. Then you change it to 20. You type 20, and then you click OK. So that is how we change the row height. The next question, center the heading horizontally and vertically. This is the heading. How do we center horizontally and vertically? You get them under alignment. Then you see this is horizontal, and then the one on top is vertical. Now, alternatively, you can just right-click, like I said, format cells, and then under alignment, you will see text alignment. You see center, which is horizontal, vertical alignment also. So when you right-click, it becomes easier for the formatting. So grade 10, take note of that. Always you right-click, and then you get the options. Now the next question, add a double line border around the heading. Now, this is the heading. We want to put a border around it. Again, just right-click. Also, format cells. You see border. Now the border should be around it. So you pick the double line, and then you choose outline, and then OK. Right, so always the formatting part, the first part of the questions, always right-click on the cell that you need to format, and then you see format cells. Or you can also use the search and say format cells, and it will take you straight to that place. Right, so watch out for this: number format, alignment, font, border, and then fill, as well as protection. They will ask you questions on that. The next question, change the heading in cell G2 to look like the rest of the headings. Now this is G2. The rest of the headings are having different formatting. Now we want to change this one so that the rest, this one will look like the rest. Now you select on the rest that has already been formatted. Then you see what we call the format painter. Then you come and click on this one so that they will look exactly like the rest. Now, format painter, then you can now drag so that they will be in 2 lines. I'm going to redo it. Click on the existing one, and then from the clipboard, you see format painter. Come and click on the one that you need to format it. Now, if you want it to be in 2 lines, you drag it, then it will be 2 lines. You drag to narrow them. The next question, ensure that all the text in column A is visible. How do we ensure that all the text in column A are visible? You can do that by selecting them, and then you choose what we call wrap text. If you wrap text, everything will be visible. Or you can do that by clicking in between A and B, and then you double click. It will widen them for you. In between A and B, just double click. It will make everything to be visible. Right, and hide column F. Column F is supposed to be between E and G. So you select E and G, you right click and say unhide, so that the column that is hidden there will be displayed. You select E and G, you right click and then you choose unhide. Now, format all amounts in the worksheet to be in US dollars with 2 decimal places. Now, all the amounts in the worksheet, all the amount, that's the prices, are amounts. So you select them, and then we need to format to 2 decimal places. Again, you right click, format cells, or you can just select and then you go to search and type format cells. Now, whenever you are changing it to currency or to anything, you select number format, currency, then you choose 2 decimal places according to the question. Column H excluded. Listen, they say column H excluded. That means all these amounts. So you select all these, right click, format cells, currency, 2 decimal place, and OK. Right. That is what we are supposed to do. Now, the next question. The exchange rate for US dollars is given in J1. Insert a formula in H3 to calculate the price of data for Q2 2017. Now, we need to find this one. The exchange rate is given to you here. Now, we want to calculate in South African rands. How do we calculate in South African rands? We have the rand value here and then the dollar equivalent. 1 rand is equivalent to 12.9. Now, to change that, what you need to do is you must give this one a name. So you right click and choose define name. You can give it any name, let's say A, and then you click OK. Why are we defining the name? Because we want it to become absolute. In other words, when you scroll down, the answers should not change. So you must right click and give it a name. Then you come here, you press equal sign, click on the answer for Q2 2017, and then you say times the value in J1, which is A. Then you press enter. So when you scroll down, it's going to calculate for all of them. So first of all, you must give them a name, and then you'll be able to do the calculation. Right. The next question. Insert a function in E10 to determine the highest price. Please, whenever you see the question, the highest, the biggest, we use a function called max. So when you see the highest or the biggest, we use max. So the highest price for 2016, we use max. So you say equal sign, max, double click on the max, and then you select the values. And then you press enter. So this is the maximum value. If you are to calculate the smallest value, just equal sign, min, double click on min, and then you select the values. Then you press enter. So that's how we do max and then min. Min is the smallest value. Max is the biggest value. Now, if you want the number of, which is the count, we use the count function. Equal sign, count. When you are typing count, then you select them. Press enter. There are 6 of them. But if you are going to count text like this, equal sign, counter. That one we use counter. And then you select the names. If it is all about names, we use counter. But if they are values, we use count. Right. So you must know max. You must know min, the smallest. You must know count, how many, or the total number. And then if you are going to add, we use what we call sum. Equal sign sum, SUM, and then you select the values, you press enter. So sum is for adding, count is for finding the number of, min is for finding the smallest, max is to find the biggest value. And then the average also is the function, equal sign average, double click on average, then you select the values and then you press enter. So please take note of this. These functions are the one that you are expected to know, my great friends. You are expected to know min, max, average, count, and then sum. Now, the count blank is to count the blank spaces. If there are blank spaces, let's say this one, there's no value there, we use the function called count blank. Equal sign count blank, and then you select all of them and then press enter. So there are two, the blank spaces are two. So these functions, you need to know them, great friends. Now let's take a look at others. So average and these ones. Now, the next question is talking about the borders. We must work in the market worksheet, and then we put a border around it. So this is the market worksheet. How do we put a border around all these? You select them, like I said, right click, format cells, and then you go to border, then choose outline, so that there will be border around it. Right. Now, create a graph, a suitable graph as follows. The title of the chart must be that, and then the data labels and others. Right. The chart, it depends on the it depends when it comes to the chart, because sometimes grade 11 or grade 10, they don't ask for chart question. But if they ask, how are you going to solve that type of questions? Now, this is the graph they said we must create. Create a chart to indicate the following. So we have to use the values. The market that each service provider obtained for 2014. So we are dealing with only 2014 values and for the service provider. Now, how do we select them? When you have this type of question, you can do that in different ways. What you will do is you must select the first one and then you copy. You can copy them into different places. You paste it. Then you select the values for 2014 and then you paste it as well here, so that they will follow each other, and then you draw your graph. So you select them and then go to insert chart. Now, according to the question, it must display in percentages. Now, the type of graph that displays in percentage is pie chart. So we have to go to insert pie chart, and then we select any pie chart of our choice. Now we have to put the title of the pie chart according to the question. The title should be, if it's not there, when you click on the chart element, you see chart title. Then we type the title of the chart. Here the title should be Market Share 2014. And then again, we put each percentage. How do we put each percentage? When you select the graph, you will see chart design and chart format. Or when you click on this one, you will see the data labels, and then you select data callout. It will give you in percentages. And then again, move the chart to the new worksheet called graph. So we have to create a worksheet, and then we double click to change the name called graph. Now we need to move this graph to that new worksheet. So when you select it, then you will see format and then chart design. From the chart design, you will see move chart. Then you change it to graph worksheet. Right, so basically that's how we create graph. But then according to the ATP for grade 10, the graph, because most of the things are going to be calculations, but then it depends on the province. If they bring graph, it's easier to also solve questions under graphs. Right. Now we move straight to the next question, which is question 5. 5 usage, and that is also about basic formatting. Basic formatting. Now the first question says, insert a column to the left of column A. So we have our column A. Now we need to insert a column here. Now we have to select or right click on column A, and then we see insert. And then the next question, fill to add the numbers to this column. Now we need to add numbers to this column from 1, 2, 3 up until 25 or so. So you select here, you are going to type them here. What you need to do is you type 1, and then you put the mouse pointer here, whereby you see the black autofill option. Double click, is going to give you 1, 1, 1. Then when you go to the last one, you go and choose fill series, so that to number them 1, 2, 3. Or you can do that. Let me start again. You can type 1 and type 2. Then when you select them, then you autofill. Then it's going to autofill 1, 2, 3 up until 29. Now the cell phone number 072 was not entered, and the question is we must enter this cell phone number. Now any number that begins with 0 is a text. So we are going to type the cell phone number here, meaning that we have to change this one to text. So first of all, you right click and choose format cells, and from the number you choose text and OK. Or you can get it from the number format here, then you select text. Then we can now type our 072 and that number there. Right, if it's not text, you won't see the 0 there, right? And then the next question says, use a function to determine how many learners are males. Now, whenever you see how many, that means use the count. Now, this type of question, I will skip it. That is the count if. And then count if is supposed to be from term 3. So grade 10. You don't need to know count if at this time. So I will skip that type of question, because according to the ATP, it's supposed to be for term 3. But let me do it in case you never know, you can get a question of that nature. Right, how many are males? So we are going to count how many are males here. So we use what we call the count if, because we want to select only those that are males. So we press equal sign, count if. Then you click on fx from the function or the formula bar. Then the range, you select the values or the gender in column D. And then the criteria, which one are we looking for? We are looking for males, which is M. Then we type M and OK. So we got 14. Now, The next one, how many learners do not have contract? How many learners do not have contracts? Now let's check, where do we find a contract? That is column I. That means those who do not indicate anything. That's count blank. So equal sign, count blank. Then you click on FX, and then you select the values under column I. That is to count blank spaces. And then the next question, determine the most popular. Now, when you talk about the most popular, or we sometimes call it the most frequently occurring. Frequently occurring, we use what we call mode. To get the frequently occurring, we use mode, and then most popular data usage per month. So we select the monthly data, and then you press enter. So whenever they're asking for the most popular, we use mode function. Take note. And then the lucky winner. Generate a lucky number from among all the numbers listed in column A. Now, whenever they talk about a lucky number, we use range between. Now, we are talking about from 1 up until 29. So we use range between to generate lucky numbers. So equal sign, range between. Then you click on FX. The bottom should be 1. The top is 29. Why is the top 29? Because it ends at 29. The bottom is the first value, which is 1. And then you click OK. So here I got 14, which is random number. If I double click again and press enter, it will change because it is random numbers. Now the summary worksheet. We go to the summary worksheet. How many learners are grade 12? So we go to summary worksheet. So equal sign, count if. Because we are looking for grade 12, count if, and then we click on FX. The range, we go and select from the information, and then we select all the grade. Then the criteria, we are looking for grade 12, so we say 12, and then click OK. So there were 8 grade 12 learners. Now, to sort the data in sheet 2, according to the question, we have to sort the data by the service provider that has the most learners. So sheet 2, we are going to sort this one. So you select them. Don't include the heading because the heading is having a problem because they merge. And then you go to sort and filter. We can also search sort. And then we are doing according to column B. The biggest on top, that's the largest. So it gives us the largest on top. So when you are sorting, select everything, then you go to sort and filter, and then you choose custom sort. Right. Then the last question says rename sheet 2 to providers and change the color to green. So this is sheet 2. You right click and choose rename, and then we change it to providers. Then we right click again, and then change the tab color to green. Right. So basically, this is what we needed to do. Now, this is all the question that we had to do about the question and answer. So if you have any question, you may ask as well. Right, I will check your questions. But then, like I said, the graphs, don't worry yourself about graphs because graph questions are always not there for term 2. So basically, and count if. So the functions that you must think about regarding spreadsheet are the following. You must think about count, count A, sum, max, min, average. Yeah, these are the basic functions that you must think about it. And then maybe today, for today, to display today's date, and formatting. Then you must also look at formatting. So for spreadsheet, you focus on this, and then the formatting part. Don't forget, always you begin, don't forget about the simpler way. You begin with equal sign. You start typing the name of the function. Let's say sum. Double click on it. Then you select the range. And then you press enter. So all the functions are similar to that. Don't think about count if or sum if. And then even the random numbers. So basically, this is what you need to know about spreadsheet. And I wish you all the best. If you don't have any question, I will leave this one for you. Somebody said, how do you insert page numbers? Example, page 1 only on the first page. Right. For Microsoft Word, let's say we want to insert page numbers here. And then page 1 will not be numbered. Like when you go to insert page numbers at the bottom, if you don't want page 1 to be numbered, you take different first page from the header and footer. You will see different first page. So page 1 will not be numbered. That's the trick, how to put different first page. Right. If there's no question, I'll end here and then you watch the video again. And then you'll be able to answer some of these questions. I wish you all the best. Great, thanks. And then like I've shared the theory with you again. Before you write the theory, I'll have time and also meet you again. And this weekend, I will also display your pet. I will break your pet down. The pet is available that you can have access to them. And then you will start the pet also, I think, after the examination. If there's no question, thank you for your precious time. I'll end the lesson here and immediately you can have access to it. You can use the same link to also watch the video again. Thank you for your time. All the best tomorrow for grade 10s who are going to write in Northwest and other provinces also. Good night.